Now that we have a working definition of arpeggios, let's look at them a bit closer.
So I walk a little too fast, and I drive a little too...
We are looking at the E minor harmonic scale beginning on string 5. The step sequence is step, half step, 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 half step, step and a half, and half step. These are the notes that we will be using to build our arpeggios. And we need to see this scale in 2 octaves. Our formula remains the notes in sequence with the first note repeated. All of these are formed by play a note and skip a note. So at the number 1, E minor, we find the octave. Now this arpeggio, as all arpeggios, can be inverted. The manner is we find the note, which would be the 3rd, and find its octave, and then fill in with the rest of the notes. From the 5th, and from the octave. Sorry. Now there are more than one position for this. You can find your own comfort zone. Of course, we should know these ascending and descending, as they are wonderful improvisational motifs. Arpeggios can also be played on each interval of the scale, and we should know these also inverted ascending and descending. For example, on the 2nd, which is F sharp, we skip the 3rd and play the 4, skip the 5 and play the 6, and then the first note again. This gives us a diminished triad. On the 3rd, we play the 3rd, skip the 4, play the 5, skip the 6, play the major 7, and repeat the 3rd. Now this gives us a unique harmonic. We get a G augmented. On the 4, we get a minor triad. On the 5, we get a major triad. On the 6th, also a major triad. On the 7, we get that diminished again. And then our octave. We should know these both ascending and descending. You could say to yourself, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, so let's consider using some of these arpeggios, let's say for an ending to a song. I like Autumn Leaves because it ends on the scale that we're looking at, E minor. Now you could just take an arpeggio on the root and just invert it. But I particularly like that augmented arpeggio. And I like to invert it one time. So this gives us the notes B, G, D sharp, another B, and another G. So that would be frets 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 9, 7. So let's try disguising that a little bit for some more interest. Let's try approaching each one of those notes with a half step below. So again, it's 7, 8, 8, 9, 10, 9, 7. Now there on the B note, I approached it with 2 half steps just to break out of that pattern. Now backing away from this, let's move back one more chord. Let's try the minor, the A minor arpeggio. So we would have this. Harmonically, we would be saying this. Oops. Let's change that last chord to an arpeggio an octave higher. Okay. Let's back up away from the A minor. Let's add another arpeggio, B7, but let's use that diminished because it does spell B7 flat 9. So let's include that in our ending. Let's put it right after the A minor. Okay, we decided to use that arpeggio. All right. Okay. Now I noticed with this arpeggio on the diminished, we're 1/2 step away from the 4 chord inverted. So we could say the 4 chord again, coming down. Let's try that. Okay, harmonically what we're saying is this. So we're saying the 4 and then the 5 with the diminished, then back to the 4 again, and then we ascend up the arpeggio on the 3, Let's change that last one to, instead of straight up, let's do the second and third. Okay, let's see if we can stitch all that together.